What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and happy New Year's as we are doing our first Questionable Perspective podcast of the year 2024. I am your host, Christopher, and also with my co-host, Jeshua. How are you doing
Hola.
tonight, sir?
Pretty good, pretty good. How about you, sir?
Doing well, doing well. Today's topics are going to be twofold. We're going to be talking about the Gurren Lagann movies that are going to be coming out later this, well, probably about in what a couple, probably about another week.
I'd say 2 weeks for the Gurren Lagann Childhood's End movie, which will be January 16th and 17th. And then the other one's going to be Gurren Lagann, the movie The Lights in the Skies Are Stars. And that'll be January 23rd and 24th. So there's a week apart between each. So 2 weeks and 3 weeks.
Yeah. And we also will be touching on the hot button issue of the anime community is going on right now, which is the localizer situation. And basically, you'll get our opinions on what's going on in that whole situation.
It's going to be
But
spicy.
well, let's go ahead and just kick it off with the Gurren Lagann situation. And I'm interested to see them, even though I probably rewatch the series again before if I went to go see them, so I could kind of brush up on Gurren Lagann because it's been a couple of years since I looked at the show.
It's their 15th anniversary for all of this now, if I think about it. 'Cause the series came out back in 2007,
It came out that late?
2008, 2007. Yeah, I was back in high
Hmm.
school watching this.
No, I had already graduated. When did I graduate? At '02. But
Old
I'm actually,
man.
but I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with it. If it's just a straight retelling of the show, or is it like we're retelling it, but we're changing some things here and there to kind of spice it up a little bit.
From what I remember, and I have to let people know, I have not seen these. These came after and were in Japan's like theaters. I didn't learn about these till probably like 2012, 2013, 14. But from what I understand, one is it takes the last 6 episodes. It doesn't really change the ending or anything. It adds some stuff, I think, that were deleted from the series and gives it a better animation quality. And now, which one is the other? I don't know. One came in like 2008, the other one came out 2009. I, like, it's so weird. One might be just a recap of like part one. The other one's a recap, not really a recap of part two, but that's what the childhood's end seems to be from the
I really hope that's
description.
not it. I really hope that's not what they're gonna do. I would be I would be
Well,
really I would be really pissed off if
I
that's all it
I
is, just recapping.
well, there is a special that does some recapping, but I mean, I think they just take the last 6 episodes, and this is just me assuming, folks. I'll sit down and watch these at some point, probably sometime this week. But it's just they like the other one. They take the last 6 episodes of the first season, add some stuff that was deleted, and just which is just extra content we didn't see during the series. That's just my guess.
You know, and honestly, I would hope they would, but I know they're not gonna change because it's supposed to be, I guess, more poetic that the way the ending comes out.
We're sorry if we
But
spoiled the ending to the series. The series has been out for
well,
15 years.
yeah, I'm about to say if you haven't seen Gurren Lagann by now, you call yourself an anime fan. Yeah, you need to go back to the drawing board again.
Ignore what he said. I'm not going to judge you depending on how young you are. You just haven't seen it yet.
They throw planets at each other.
Listen, yes, they ascend to god level hood shenanigans where they start throwing galaxies as like frisbees. But that's the fun part.
Uh, like trust me, that's like an anime classic. Pretty much, I'm pretty sure a lot of people. would have said, yeah, you need to check out Gurren Lagann especially if you're a mecha fan.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah, you
much.
definitely would have seen Gurren Lagann.
And same studio did Kill la Kill. That's a highly recommended one by
Yep,
Studio
that's actually a
Trigger.
pretty good one. That's actually a pretty good one. What's I know they've done something else.
There's
Like, uh,
Darling in the Franks. I like
did
it, but even I will admit that anime got really just. I'm like, oh, this seems fun. All right, it goes from like, okay, I get it.
didn't they do
The,
Akame ga Kill?
you mean Kill la Kill?
Akame ga Kill. The one
Uh,
about the assassins that are like pretty much every episode and every other episode, one of them dies off.
ah, it's a good question. Let's go look that up because I don't know.
I think it's Kill the Kill. That might be Kill the Kill. I'm thinking about because Kill the Kill is not the one where the girl has like the schoolgirl outfit that changes into like a BDMS outfit.
It doesn't. Well, and Darling in the Franks, no. I mean, technically in Kill la Kill, yes, the clothing does change to very skimpy outfits that should not be there. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, I was thinking
Okay.
about that.
I might have been wrong about Studio Trigger doing Gurren Lagann. I swear. Why is it not on their list? Let's see. Huh, it was Oh, it's Gynax that did that. Good God, I am so sorry. Gynax did Gurren Lagann. I don't know why I was getting.
Are they still? Are they even still around?
Yeah, Gynax is all. Dude, Gynax ain't going nowhere.
I'm trying to remember because usually like when you watch it, so you see more like Aniplex.
Well, they co-produce stuff. Let's see. I mean, Gynax did Evangelion and all that. They're still around. Uh,
Yeah, a lot of good
they're
anime studios always stick around
yeah, they're still doing stuff from what I'm seeing.
because it's them, Studio Trigger, and Bones. I think are probably the two best studios out right now.
Oh, don't forget Madhouse now.
Yeah, Madhouse too.
But yeah,
Well, I definitely am interested to see them. I wonder how long it's going to take before they basically up in streaming. Because if they're coming out in theaters, I think they're only going to be they're doing like one night sub, the other night dub for both movies. So it's like a one night only type thing.
from what they're showing, they have everything. They're gonna have dubbed, subbed,
Yeah,
4K.
because the 16th is the subtitle, the 17th is the dub version. Because they're doing like one day each.
Mm.
Which
That's
I
what kills me when Fathom Events does this stuff. It kills me. The last Fathom Events, like I remember seeing of anything, was like Shin Godzilla, but that was like years ago. I wanted to see Shin Kamen Rider and like Shin Ultraman. I don't think Shin Kamen Rider came to theaters. Let me double check. Yeah, apparently Fathom Events never did it, but it ended up it's on Netflix as like the Shin Master Rider. I think that's why.
No, Netflix has been making a lot of moves into the anime
Not Netflix,
scene.
Amazon. I'm sorry, Amazon.
Oh,
Dang, Jesus Christ. But yes, Netflix is doing some crazy stuff too.
oh, we're definitely gonna have to have a show on that Gundam series.
That's abroad. Which Gundam series?
The one Netflix is doing.
Oh yeah, isn't that the Xeon side?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's doing the same things like 0080. It's taking the perspective of the
Perspective.
Xeon.
Yeah, that's the full 3D one too. I think
Mm-hmm.
it'll be good.
The trailer looks good. I'm still kind of reluctant because they were saying live action, but then it's kind of done turned into, well, not really live action. It's computer animated.
Still might be doing that.
And now let's just keep it computer animated. You can always find good voice actors, and as much as I like Gundam, sometimes some stuff that happens in Gundam is really silly, and it doesn't really lend itself well to live action.
Like what the Witch from Mercury did in the final season.
Yeah,
At
we don't
least
need.
in 000, it made sense. This didn't make any sense. But I'm not going to go any further.
Yeah. And if you want to talk about Witch from Mercury, go check out one of our older reviews, and we definitely would appreciate that.
Most definitely. I will try to make sure the episodes are linked a bit. But
Mm,
yeah,
That,
go ahead.
oh no, but that's pretty much all I think I have because we don't really know too much about it. Because, like I said, I remember the series. I loved the series when I first watched it, but it's
Like
been, I guess, maybe probably 10 years since I seen looked at Gurren Lagann.
I think I rewatched it probably like 6 years ago. But I mean, I swear, I think one of my workplace got so tired of me because I would play Libra Me from Hell, which I don't know if anybody knows this. Here, I will play a little tidbit of that song. Give me a second here. It's a Libra Me from Hell. It is like one of the best songs. Hopefully, we don't get copyright stricken here.
Probably about 10 seconds, probably enough.
Well, the source I'm playing from is not copyrighted, so it's still good.
Do the impossible, see the invisible. Row, fight the power.
All right, I'm not going to go anymore. That's like 30 seconds out. I was pushing it. Then something else just tried to play. Dear God.
Yeah, but it's definitely gonna be. I'm definitely liking the ways things are going now. Like we're actually starting to get more and more anime movies instead of just it just only being released in Japan and we just have to wait.
Well, I think the big thing is, and I hope a lot of movie theaters, I think, are starting to do this now. Is understand that we'll use an example. It's only Fathom events, but Shin Ultraman, it made like 600,000 or 618,000 in the theater. Only like a 2 day release. But now we have the God, the budget for Godzilla minus one. That's still sitting in theaters. That thing
Hmm.
made, I think it's near $200 million now. They only had a budget of 15 million. Like you
Yeah, so yeah, it definitely brought back his money.
did some. It's like one of the most successful Godzilla movies. I think it's the most successful.
Yeah, and then it's so terrible though because now you got the Godzilla Kong movie coming out compared to that movie
I mean, I'm still gonna go watch the Godzilla Kong movie. It's not gonna
with
bother
his
me. It's just
with his Thanos gauntlet on.
well, something. I thought he lost his hand, but he didn't. So it's like a bionic glove of some kind. I'm just sitting here. I'm like, every time I've rewatched the trailer, you see Godzilla and King Kong running down the tunnel. I'm just thinking of that stupid SpongeBob meme. They're running down some damn tunnel. Some stupid music. But I mean, it's fine. I think Legends has done a pretty good job with the Godzilla name. I will take this over the 1998 Godzilla. Dear God. Now,
Yeah, the
now the
the one where
animated
he kind of
Now the animated series for that was really good though. So it's like movie bad, animated series amazing.
No, I didn't like the design for
That's
Godzilla in that series.
that's understandable. It didn't look good 3D, but like animated was amazing. It's
Mm,
just funny how what will be better in 2D or 3D.
yeah. And I said, you said that I think theaters are realizing that anime movies can make them money, especially when you had like Demon Slayer and you had the Dragon Ball Brawly movie. All of them were multi-million-dollar movies for the
Yeah,
short runs that they had.
if what they need to do, and I wish they just didn't like the Mugen Train for Demon Slayer. That was an official movie. But they also did the same thing with like the Broly movie and all that. They turned them into episodes in the series. It's
Yeah.
like I need them to do a movie, even though I mean they look great in the theater on the screen on the big screen.
Well you can buy Mugen Train as the movie.
Yeah, it's just like with the Dragon Ball movies, they just turn them into episodes or whatever. They probably change. They don't really change a bunch of stuff, just some minor things,
Yeah.
just because
They're,
just so it's an episode.
Yeah, they're those movies are basic, well, especially the Mugen Train one. Those are what I call bridging movies. The bridge, the first and the second season, because that's basically all it does in Demon Slayer is fill in that little gap between season one and season two.
Yep. But I mean, they do go over. I think they did a recap episode, second season or third season. I have to go
Yeah,
rewatch. But we're past the entertainment arc for Demon Slayer. Can't wait for when they did the Sword Village
well,
arc.
so
So
they're
now we
going
have.
into the I think the next one is the Infinity Castle arc.
Yep, it is. So prepare your
Eh,
tissue boxes, people. We're going to be crying in that one.
yeah, I don't want to know. I don't want to know too much because I want to kind
I
of be
ain't telling
surprised.
you anything. It's just you gonna be crying for the good and bad guys.
Mm. Well, yeah. Well, even when Tanjiro kills a lot of the demons, you
You
see
hear their
that backstory.
backstory.
You like, yeah, I can understand why he changed into a demon. It's understandable.
Some of
They
them,
give a little
I
more
don't.
human to him.
Okay, we'll go back to a Darling in the Franks for a moment here. There's a character in Darling in the Franks. I give you hate him throughout the whole thing. You just come to hate this guy. He's like the main reason for all the stuff happening. Like he is the main reason, and you're like, how do we just eliminate you and not cause any more problems?
Mm.
It's like Shinji's dad all over again. That is the best way for me to put it. I'm not kidding. You as silly as Darling Franks gets at times, it does have a good story in there. Some weird
Mm.
convoluted stuff, but
Please don't bring out Eva, because the next thing you know, he'll redo those movies again.
no, he won't. Those movies are fine. It's just crazy. I just realized when I bought the last one and I watched versus watching it, it's like how far apart they were. The first one was done back in 2008.
Oh
Like,
yeah, it took
huh?
a. Well, it's the same way they did with Gundam Unicorn. Like those movies, people act like those episodes were like an hour a piece, but they were like years apart with each other.
Blew my mind. I was like, bruh.
I think you're gonna start seeing a lot more of them in theaters as long as they don't do what Demon Slayer did with the last one they had.
I mean, yeah, that one was just episodes, but that's still going to be those first three episodes or something, or the
Yeah,
entertainment arc. Or no, let's see, the entertainment arc.
the
It
sword.
was the
It was more so. It was the
last two episodes of
because
the entertainment arc, and then the first one of the Sword Village arc.
yeah, because the first episode of the Sword Village arc was like almost an hour long. I think it was like 40 some
Yep,
minutes, almost 50.
yep. That's. But I mean, that's that's kind of the thing I hope they don't do, but we'll see. There's there is going to be some interesting things. Let's see the other movie that's it's speaking of like Gundam and all that. There's the Gundam Seed movie that's coming out.
Yes. Market calendars, people. We're finally getting it after 15 years. We're finally getting that movie. They've been talking about it and saying it was going to happen. And green lighted, and then it wasn't green lighted, and then it's been changed, but it's finally coming, January 26th. Which is kind of gonna be a sad day for the Gundam Seed people, as technically it is supposed to end the cosmic era and all storylines going to the cosmic era.
Oh crap! Now I see why it was held back. Morimasa. Hold on, me. Because that was like 2016. This was, I think, supposed to come out.
Which one, the Gurren Lagan?
No, the Gundam Seed movie.
Yeah, it's been in limbo for like I think the last. It was supposed to. It's been in limbo for at least I know the last 15 years.
Well,
Ever since Gundam Seed Destiny ended, it's been in limbo since then.
well, I see why now. The chick that created Gundam
Yeah,
Seed, she passed away in 2016. I didn't know that.
yeah. She had
I
she passed away from I believe brain cancer, and that was the main. What's his name? Fukuda. That's why he had been heavily pushing the movie because he wanted to finish his and his wife's work.
actually, it was due to a necrotic dissection. That's why she passed away.
You know, because if you don't know, her and her husband basically pretty much created a vast majority of the main storyline in the cosmic era, outside of like Stargazer, Astray, and Eclipse.
She did. Let's see here. Future GPX, Cyber Formula. She did an episode of Outlaw Star, episode 9. She did Gear Fighter Didendo. Then pretty much all of Gundam Seed up to the movie. Well, I believe written the movie. Good lord. So crazy.
Yeah, like this. I would say that. Do you know the original plan for the ending of Gundam Seed?
Nope. I don't remember, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, technically, the way it ended was not the way it was supposed to end.
Now,
Because
are we talking about Gundam Seed or Gundam Seed Destiny?
Gundam Seed,
What was it? How was it
because
supposed to end?
it was the way Fukuda talks about it. The way he talks about it is that Flay was supposed to go back to the Archangel, like Rala Crusade was supposed to send her back to the
Mhm.
Archangel, but he sent her back with a bomb that would explode and destroy the Archangel, and that's how she was originally supposed to meet her end. And
Good
I'm like,
God.
that would have been so much better.
Okay. There's. Huh. Interesting.
I think that would have been more interesting if they would have did that, because everybody hated her anyway. So
Damn crazy bitch. Excuse my language, but I mean, she was. I mean, she was like manipulating our boy. Forgive me for not remembering his name.
oh,
The whole
Kira.
Kira, the whole time. God, she was so manipulative. It's like watching. It's like when I was watching Rising of the Shield Hero. It's like this. The chick in there, the spoiled princess, is just manipulating all the other heroes. It's like, please, please stop.
Yeah, but she does have a good arc because she does. She actually goes. She's about one of the only characters that actually really goes through a complete arc, going from the point where she completely hates coordinators to once she's captured by Roller Crusade and basically has to stay amongst them. She kind of starts to empathize with them, like they're just ordinary people too.
Right.
Like it kind of changes her a bit, and she kind of realizes the stuff she was doing to Kira was screwed up. And it is more painful for Kira because of what happens to her and the way they do it, which I think does work a little bit better with the way she's ended up being unalived, with the fact that he thinks he saved her. Like, I saved this person that I care about, and then she's like, I can finally tell the truth. I can finally tell him, and apologize to him for everything I've done. And then boom, beam shot through your spacecraft, and now you're dead. And I I thought the blasphemy of what they did with her character after that was when they turned her into Lala Soon.
Ugh.
That was one of those times I was like, "Are you kidding me?" She has not earned that point to take on the place of that kind of character for Akira.
And I mean, it happens, man.
Yeah, it's just not. Uh, I don't even get. I don't because I did not like the character. I like her story arc, but I still didn't redeem the character in my eyes. But I don't know if you had a chance to look at the mobile suit designs.
I saw a few of them. They look really good, but
What's the name? The Rising Freedom and the Immortal Justice.
yes.
I'm like, I don't understand why they needed them to transform.
Well, some of them sort of did that in Gundam Seed
Yeah, but
Destiny.
that's never really been like the freedom and the justice.
No, but I mean,
But
hey,
because which technically I know these are supposed to be like new. This is supposed to be Generation 4 versions of them because which I didn't even know. I had to look up some of the stuff on it, but they don't have the nuclear reactors in them anymore.
no, good lord.
Yeah, because of the peace treaties and everything. Because they had them in Seed, in Destiny, they still had their nuclear reactors. It just all of a sudden in this version, they like because of the treaties that were signed, they took they took the nuclear reactors out of the freedom and the justice. And then they kind of just upgraded them with different power sources to basically compensate for the fact that they don't have a nuclear reactor in them anymore.
Pretty much, which is fine. It's still crazy to me looking back at some of these series that Gundam Seed in general, from the first to the second arc, is 100 episodes. But then again, it was a long drawn out drama, so
Yeah.
it was a
If you
slow
want to see
burn.
if you want to watch Gundam Seed, pick up the Gundam Seed movies.
Yeah, they're good recaps.
Because yeah, it is because both series are what like 50 episodes apiece. Yeah.
In the special editions of each, they're like
Oh, the remasters.
no they're each episode, because these are recaps, are about an hour and a half each.
Yeah. They're recaps, but it's like more like I was
There's
saying with it's straight story. There's no filler stuff that's going on.
there's some stuff added. There's some stuff minor changes. Nothing too
Yeah.
crazy. Let's see. Code
Oh,
Geass did that too, which
yeah.
I was fine with because very last movie of that answered the question is like, was the Lucha alive or was he dead?
I
Highly
still haven't
recommend
seen
it.
those yet.
Highly recommended, dude. Like, I need to buy the Blu-ray set.
Yeah. And if you are a really really big Gundam Seed fans, I'm pretty sure you've already watched Gundam Seed Remastered and Gundam Seed Destiny Remastered. Those are the superior versions to the originals.
Pretty much, it saves you from having to sit there and watch almost 50 episodes. It's almost like watching. You
Oh
don't
no,
have
they're
to
50.
watch.
No, they're 50 episodes, but they're 50 episodes where they actually expand on a lot of stuff that you didn't get to see in the original series.
Yeah, there's some minor changes here and there. Nothing too crazy.
Mostly it seems like just in like the battle scenes. That's where
Yeah,
they kind of expanded on.
at least they
And
lessen the drama at times. Because, dear God, some of the drama just went on for far too long. I don't care what anybody
uh,
says.
and I'm gonna say this right now, Bandai, please, whatever you do not put Atherin back with Kigali. I know they're hinting at that whole thing with him having Kigali and him having Mayrin both on his side. Like, I can guarantee you, it's going to be an uproar if you put him and her back together. They are not a good fit. Mayrin is the best fit for him.
I can
Like,
already
I think
hear the fans roaring in the background, going boo, boo.
because I never got that. I never got why they paired those two together. Like, they are so diametrically opposed to each other's like opinions and viewpoints. Like Kira and Lacus, I can understand because they both kind of meet in the middle. They have a very similar personality. Atherine and Kigali have nothing in common. She is a complete dummy. She basically throws everything away to marry a man she doesn't love just to try to save her kingdom. It ends up not even doing that because she runs away and he takes over anyway. And until she finally gets her strength back, the way she can stand up to him. I'm like, Jesus, let's just leave her where she's at. I'm not even gonna say. I hope she blows up when they fire that nuclear missile at Orb again.
Damn, man. Not happy with her, are you?
No, I've never liked Kigali as a character. She's always been the one character in Seed that you look at. Like all the other ones, kind of have these very deep introspective sights on things. Kigali's like the one outlier that she just does not understand. Does not understand war and why it happens. What are the things they can do to solve the problem? She's just always just there. She wants to do stuff, but she can't fight. They literally built a mobile suit specifically for her that could reflect beam rifle shots because she's such a terrible pilot. I'm like, they doing everything they can to keep you alive. But Mayrin is the one that he needs to be with. Because when he was like, "Let's get out of here because Durando's gonna kill us if we stay here," and what's the name? The Lacus imposter stays. Mayrin is the only one with any kind of brains, and like, no, I trust him. I'm going with him. I'm not gonna stay here and probably end up getting shot and killed because I helped him escape. I'm leaving with him.
Understandable.
So should we get over here and get into the controversial part?
I guess. All right, folks. As y'all have known, we'll use. I think one of the biggest controversies has been since last week. It starts with Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Some of the localizers, even though I mean you can be a localizer, you don't have to understand Japanese, but like I mean speaking it fluently, but understanding how like sentence structure and all that works. Because I'm currently learning Japanese, I can tell you right now, like some fan translations are way better than what you would get on Crunchyroll or anything like that. I'm not telling you to pirate stuff, but I mean the fan dubs are a lot better right now because
We're not telling you not to do it. We're just not telling you to do it.
I do not endorse piracy, nor does my friend Chris here. We do not endorse that. But people are making it very, very hard not to do it for a lot of the fans. It's and Miss Kobayashi's is definitely one of the Dragon's Maid is one that I can think off the top of my head. Another one is I forget the name of the title. It's a manga, but it's like I dressed my best friend up as a girl, and I know some women that love that to death, and they're like, why are they saying the other guy is transgender when he's not? I mean, it's like literally just a dude liking another dude. And another dude's just a femboy. Let's dress up as a girl. I believe the term is tom girl. Like, I mean, you got girls that act like boys, so they're referred to as a tomboy. Yes, I
Sundere,
know.
Sundere, I think.
No, that's where the girl's like sadistic.
I'm trying to remember all, but there is another one too that I remember anime specifically referencing Gamergate, and I would kind of like
Oh,
what?
oh God, I think I know which one you're referring to because another big thing, I think it was Uzumaki-chan wants to hang out. I think that may have did. I know that was one people were getting upset at. What is the other one? The girl, she has purple hair, she's tanned, she's
Oh,
shorter.
I know what you're talking
She's
about. Don't Toward Me, Nagatoro.
Yeah, that one's interesting, but like you start seeing like what the words the kids use nowadays, such as like sus, which is being suspicious, yeet, where like you just throw something super far away. And it's like, why is one of my coworkers, he loves that series and he's hyper focused at hating that translation. Like, I don't blame you. I don't blame
Yeah,
you.
it's a good show. It's a good series, even though it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. That reminds me, I need to rewatch Uzumaki-chan season 2 and pick up the manga. Which reminds me, on a slight happier note, my Dress Up Darling season 2 I know is coming out soon. I believe.
That's good. It should be here. It should be this year because it came out in 2002, not 2002, 2022. It, so it's had enough time to them to get a second season together.
Yep. All right. But back
But
on the other topic, a lot of these localizers at some of the cons, like, let's see, what was her? I don't remember her name, and I don't feel like uttering her name. I guess so. We'll just go
I
with
think
this.
I remember. I think I remember what her name was because
Let's
she's
not say it. But
yeah.
she's done some work for my Kobayashi, Dragon Maid, a few other ones. But she's going off at one of these fans in the video
Yeah,
just
that
because he.
she really, excuse my language, she really pissed me off with what she said and how she basically felt like because I am a woman, you cannot question me on why I changed something.
She's like, I have a vagina. Here I am. I was like, what? Hold on, hold the phone. What does that even have to do with you doing your job correctly? You were hired to translate something to the best of your ability, not insert meme language or your own ideology into this. Holy crap.
And it to me, from my perspective, I look at because as you know, I am a more focused dub watcher. Jeshua is subtitled. He loves subtitles, and that's
Hold
fine.
on now. I am the connoisseur of both,
but
to be fair.
I'm more of the dub person,
Now, there are
and
some I will prefer dubbed.
it's like it's hard enough out here when even when you have good English dubs, I mean really good dubs, and people still basically crap all over him because of the stuff that things like she's doing makes all the dubs, even if they're good dubs, makes them look bad because as much as people don't want to believe this, you need both subtitle and you need dub. You can't just have we'll just do subtitle. You need both of them to really get that worldwide, marketing appeal to bring even the normie in. And the way she's going about things is definitely going to put a hindrance to that. Because a lot of people are just going to say, well, I just won't watch the dub. I'll just watch the subtitle. Or
And
I'll just go pirate it and I'll watch a fan subtitle.
I
And I
mean,
won't have to deal with this anymore.
pretty much. And some of the older mangas I had, I think Tokyo Pop was the big
Yeah.
was the big
Yeah.
not printing companies. That's what I was looking for. Back in the like
Back
2008,
back
9,
in the early
10.
2000 kids, there was a company called Tokyo Pop,
Oh God!
which
All
is
right, we're not doing this here. Stop that. Yes, the other publishing company was Shonen Jump, which is still going on strong, but Tokyo Pop got bought out by somebody. Anyways, they would have they would use the Japanese word, but give you the little asterisk star. It's like, hey, this is what this means, which was cool. Is sharing the culture, explaining it to the wider audience. And I mean, they've done this in like I went and read like some French comics. They've done the same thing.
Yeah.
But when you take away from the original meaning or whatever's intended as the original meaning, when you mistranslate it or
Yeah.
put in your own whatever, and that has ticked off a lot of fans. If I remember back on the small subject of that, I dressed my friend up as a girl comic. I believe the company was going after the translators. They were the publishing company had to apologize and all that. I think they re-put out new books because that was because publishing comics in general, regardless, ain't cheap. Even though the like a manga is like $10 to $12, it's a lot cheaper than a comic book. Plus, you get more out of it.
Yeah. More
But I mean,
pages.
you have to sit there and think, it's like, oh God, how many units did we just print out? And we have to go fix this problem. That is a production cost nobody wants to eat, but they have to. But these people that don't even do their job correctly, screw everything for everybody over. It's there. How's the best way to put this? There are people that like when not trying to divert from the subject too much. When all the Marvel movies are coming out, everybody that love these Marvel movies, they don't care for them anymore. But I mean, the Marvel movie hit their end peak. But all these people that were getting into the superhero stuff, they're tourists to the fandom. It's like going to Disneyland or whatever. First time going, you know nothing of Disney movies, but that's a weird thing to say. But it's like one of the comparisons I can think of.
Yeah. And I would say, as a great man once said, Young Ripper, the comic book fans and us as anime fans, this can happen to us. You're gonna bring in these people who don't care anything about the material, and once they've used it up and burn it to the ground, they'll move on to the next thing, and we'll be left here with the ashes.
Yep, it's ridiculous. Because right now I'm looking over because I follow a lot of mangakas, or well, I'll say more artists, but some of these people they do publish their own works, whether it be not safe for work or safe for work. So you take that with a grain of salt because most of the people that are like before our time, as far as like their 60s, 70s, and 80s anime, I would say more like the 80s and 90s. These folks, they were uh, they were drawing the not safe for work stuff, and they eventually became high end artists that do safe for work stuff. Or let's see, oh god, let me see. There's one example I can think of. What is his name? He is a big hentai artist, but he does like official stuff for Street Fighter. He's done there's a Cammy he did, but he does like the big like canvas paintings in like public or whatever. He did one of Ryu, then one of Cammy. They're on almost like a gold canvas he's done. I just can't think of the artist right now. But he's also done stuff for Gundam and all that I remember.
Mm. And from my perspective, I guess you could say what my understanding of it is: a localizer, you're basically supposed to take the manga, translate it into English. Like if you need to change something to kind of like
There's no
maybe it's a
one for
cult.
one.
Yeah, maybe if it's like a cultural thing that you might say, well, something that they do in Japan that we don't do here, you might switch that to this for American. So we'll have an understanding, okay, that's what they mean. Or that's what they're trying to do. But from my understanding, we're talking watching videos with what's his name? The guy that plays Spike.
Spike.
Oh, I cannot remember his name.
I can't either.
But him saying the same thing, basically, you're just supposed to be plugging in only when you need to, like
They're
to translate something that may not really translate well in from Japanese to English, and then you kind of plug in an English, word to kind of fix it. But you're
yep.
not supposed to just be there and just inserting your political beliefs or your personal feelings into the script just because you feel a certain type of way and you feel like, well, I can do it because I am the translator, so I can do it if I want to. Nobody's gonna care.
People gonna care because dear Lord, the as like even some of the people that are like they can't speak a lick of English or whatever. It's only Japanese. Like some of the Japanese fans are like, this is happening to the property over here. What in tarnation? No, they didn't use that word explicitly, but they're like, this needs to be taken care of immediately because oh boy, this keeps going. Let's see. Here's what needs to happen. A lot of these companies need to go check out some of the Western publishing companies, make sure they're doing their job properly. If they're not, sue them into the ground. Whatever.
Well, they've already done one better because a lot of the Japanese companies are saying that they're gonna start sending more stuff to AI and just eliminating that little middleman altogether.
Yeah, that's already happened. Let's see, what is it? I love this anime. It's the Ancient Magus Bride season 2, and AI does an okay job. But I mean, hey, it's a lot better than what these people were trying to put in.
Like it's fine because it like the more the AI does it, the more it'll learn. It'll get better at it. Because all you really need is the AI to translate it and then hand it to a voice actor. All
Well,
right, that's all the problem.
well, they need to have somebody like check over the script.
Yeah, just check it over. But but that's really all you need is the AI to translate it and the voice actor to do it.
No, you still
You
need
can,
you still need a middle person to like make sure it's like okay, because there's going to be some corrections that will have to be made. But
yeah.
anyways,
But like I said, they're right now they're tap dancing on a something that could basically end up basically costing them either a lot of money because of the Japanese say we're gonna pull our anime or our translation from your place and we're gonna take it somewhere else. That's not gonna be good for a lot of the industry.
yeah, it's going to suck. People are going to have to
But
learn.
but you're bringing it upon yourself because this is really going back further than people really understand. Because this has been like they've been sliding little things like this in for a very long time.
I'd say that
It,
about 2010 ish, 12 ish, maybe when it started.
yeah, it is like you notice it, but it's like before it was like they said they might slip one little thing in and then the rest of it they won't say anything else. Now it's just like they're just blatantly like we're doing it in your face and we don't really care that you see us doing it. They kind of had that attitude of, well, we're doing it. What are you gonna do about it? And they're starting to really find out that people are not only are fans not happy with it, the creators are not happy with it, and if the creators not happy with it, ooh, that's gonna turn into a really really ugly situation if it keeps going that way. I think a lot of people are gonna have to eat crow on that whole situation.
Pretty much. I just get over it.
And I ain't gonna say I don't understand. I understand it. Like if they like your going back to your Marvel analogy. Like you would be talking about me because since 2000 was it 2008 when Iron Man first dropped and Hulk, I've
Mm-hmm.
been waiting for see these kind of characters on the big screen forever, and it's like now it like once it exploded in that 10 years, and I'm just like I'm getting to see everything I ever wanted. Even my I knew stuff with my sister who doesn't read comic books at all was talking to me about Thor and Captain America, Iron Man, the Avengers. Like it had reached that kind of a peak where even just the average person was like, "Yeah, Marvel movies are great," and that was kind of like the beginning of the downfall. because for whatever reason, Marvel decided that we don't care about you. You know, you, the fan, the one that buys all the shirts, the toys, you buy the books. We don't care about y'all. We know we got y'all. We want these new fans. And I'm like,
And they left.
those new fans are fickle. And you saw that last year
Yep.
because every single one of your movies outside of the Spider-Man one, every single one of those movies failed. All your TV shows failed.
Bad writing.
You got an Ironheart series that's been done since what the beginning since it's been done since last year. It's done. The whole show is complete. Has been pushed back to 2026. And y'all don't think y'all have a problem here? You got an Echo series that you are completely just putting every episode out. You've never done that for any Marvel show or any of your shows that you've done on Disney Plus. But Echo, you're gonna drop it all at one time.
That's usually how it goes. It sucks. But I mean, they brought it on themselves.
That's what I said. That's what I was saying. Like they completely destroyed Marvel. They completely destroyed Star Wars, and now all of us fans are just sitting there like, well, this is it is what it is, man. Like I still got my originals.
Time to go find something else to enjoy. Like that's why this is why we're doing what we're doing is pointing out. I think we maybe in one episode we pointed out what the Ripperverse, Common America, what's another one? I may have pointed this out to you, but it's called Soul Finder. It's about a exorcist, basically, like combating evil and all that, which is really cool.
And my thing is that now you're starting to see like independent creators like that Common America, the Ripperverse stuff, and it's the weirdest thing to me when you have like the Ripperverse. That first issue made $3.7 million, and nobody was talking, and none of the comic people were talking about it. I'm like, how, like, did y'all not see this man just made almost $4 million off one book? And the last two books he's put out have been over $1 million, and none of the comic book places are gonna talk about it. Like I thought this is what we were supposed to be, promoting, like independent comics. When you have when his book outsells Marvel and DC graphic novels, beats them by a country mile, and none of the comic outlets are talking about it. Like it just like we just need to make our own stuff and just let them have that. Star Wars is dead. Let them have it. Marvel's pretty much there too. Let them have them. Cause what's coming up next for Marvel?
Oh goodness gracious, that is a good question.
What, Black Captain Falcon? I don't like.
I will answer that question in just a moment. I'm actually going to look and see what's coming up because some movies got pushed back due to that writer's strike and all that.
I think all their movies got pushed back except for Deadpool, which is technically a Fox movie.
Okay, Madam Web, which is February, which is just literally. And if anybody knows, and if anybody knows who Madam Web is, she's just the old lady oracle that would help Peter Parker along his journey, but they're making her to a full-fledged character.
Now she's all hot and sexy now.
Yeah, it's pretty much why they did that. Is that, yeah, we'll just throw this to her. Let's see. Deadpool 3 will be fine.
That's the only thing I'm interested to see.
Because it'll finish out what Ryan Reynolds is doing. That releases in July of this year.
And that's pretty much going to be it for Deadpool. Sorry, people.
And let's see.
Right. Because
Okay.
Ryan Reynolds, if you don't know, Ryan Reynolds he's pretty much said he's done.
And the
He's
fact that he
been
was
released.
able to go ahead.
Oh no, he's basically terminated all his contracts past Deadpool 3 with Disney.
Yep. And what's hilarious is that he was able to convince Hugh Jackman to like play Wolverine in this, even though in the past Hugh Jackman said he was done with the role,
With the
but
character.
you know. Uh
And we got him to don the not the classic, but the
well, it's the yellow
90s
and
X,
blue. Because the other one was the yellow and brown, so hey.
which they did tease. And what's the one where he goes to Japan? The Wolverine.
The second one, I know it's a habit. I ended up getting that
Yeah.
from I got that from Burger King. Funny enough, off
But
the
they do
peel off.
but they do tease it that he opens the case at the end of the movie and it has the brown and yellow, the hood, and it has the I think the gauntlets,
Yep.
the gloves and stuff. So they do tease it. But
All right. But to
just people
finish
do
out,
your job.
yep.
Just do your job. Nobody cares what you think of anime because a lot of these people who translate anime or in the anime industry, they don't really like anime. It's
Pretty
just a
much.
job to them. It's just a stepping stone.
I wouldn't say it's stepping stones. They just go in there just to ruin it just because. Just to finish out this list, the next two other Marvel films, and this is Sony side, Craven the Hunter, which is August, and Venom 3, which uh
Can't be any worse than Venom 2.
well, Venom 2 was fine. It had some problems, but I mean they've stuck to what the character is. It's just
I didn't like Carnage. I think they didn't do him justice. And
it comes with the territory. I was like, I'll give Sony credit here and there because they're trying to keep it in their own thing. But it's like Craven the Hunter having his own film. Morbius. I had such high hopes for Morbius. That was the biggest letdown I ever saw. But then again, there's so
it
much
was
cut. There's so much cut. So I gave up with that. Venom
and
3, maybe.
it was Jared Leto.
I was like, okay, he didn't do a good job as Joker, but I think he could do Morbius. Nope, never mind. I ain't my own words. That's what I get for having any hopes. As you said, for the shows that are coming out this year, you have Echo, which is in 3 days. X-Men 97, which you and I watched as kids, which I think they'll screw up. You have another one of the shows, which is Agatha, Coven of Chaos.
I thought that got pushed back.
It's to be announced this year. It's the fall. That's all I'm seeing on the listings. Another one to be announced this year is Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Eyes of Wakanda.
Oh god.
Marvel Zombies. I think Marvel Zombies is following the same animation style as the What If series that's going on right now. That's been the only good TV series that Disney's had. It's like the What If series.
Well, I ain't gonna say that. The What If series and Star Wars Visions.
Yep, that was
But
really good.
but but you get the point we're trying to make here. It's like too many people are injecting their personal opinions into their work, and it's really starting to affect the overall product that's coming out. Look, like nobody's excited for the Ray movie after what that director just came out and said.
The which movie?
The Ray movie,
The Ray. Isn't that
Star
DC villain?
Wars.
Oh, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I thought you said Ray. Yeah, that lady can go jump in a river. She's what kills
You
me.
know,
She's only had experience doing documentaries and stuff. But then again, on a side note, the brothers that were doing a lot of the Marvel films, they only had. But this is the difference. The brothers that were doing a lot of the early Marvel films, they only did comedies, but they took a serious approach to what they were doing, and that's why the Marvel films were so successful in the early days. all the way up to the end, except now. But yeah, the new Star Wars plot and all that. When you want to say it's my job to make men feel uncomfortable, I take pleasure in making men feel uncomfortable. I'm like, madam, shut up. You are literally hired to do a film, and this is your approach to advertising this. You know your whole audience is male. That's literally the target audience for Star Wars for God knows like the
Pretty much since it's been invented.
past 50 years. But
they've already said that. Kathleen Kennedy said that we don't want you anymore. We want the new fans. We want the new
what new
generation of fans.
fans? What new fans? You got rid of. You were scaring them away. The
Yeah.
force is strong with the females. I'm like, you that statement alone just tarnishes a lot of the good female characters that have been written throughout Star Wars to me. Like God knows, most of the people that have only seen like the first 6 films and they've seen the other bad trilogy, like if they've checked out any of the books, like some of the video games, some of the comics, especially the Dark Horse Legends, my God, there were some great characters. And
Oh, what was
like
that?
the Old Republic series, some great characters.
I can't remember the book it was, but it was like the coolest thing because I've never seen it. I've never seen it Luke do that before. I forgot it was a book I was reading. I think it was a comic book where he's trying to free somebody for a sale. One of the guys come up behind him with a blaster. He puts his hands up. He force pulls the lightsaber to him and ignites it through his head.
Yeah,
I
that's Luke
like,
for you.
and they stole that scene for what's the one? Not Return of the Jedi. Well, no, not
Force Awakens.
Last Jedi.
Oh,
Where they do that, where he ignites the saber through the head. They steal that scene from that book.
I'm not surprised. Like
And
anything that was Legends, they just took from and used it. They repurposed it.
Mhm.
Like the whole cloning thing with Palpatine, that was in Legends. Here's the thing: George Lucas is like, you know what? This is a really good idea. This is canon. Even though he's had his own issues, this is great. Hey, now I'm trying to go on a tangent here, but some of this director or whatever, she's the first female person of color director. I'm like, you can eat my shorts, lady. Like, if you've looked up anything about the early productions of any of the early Star Wars films, there are a lot of women that did work on the original series back in the day. If I
Marsha
remember,
Lucas.
Miss Lucas, she was doing a lot of it. She came up with all the famous screen transitions and all that.
No, Jeshua. You know what we need to do? We need to bring back the character that basically sunk this franchise in the first place and give her a movie,
No,
a solo movie again.
I'm going to throw a brick at you, and I hope it hits your house. That line made no sense. Never mind. When
Of course it
it
does.
don't, I'm gonna hit you with a Nerf
I
bat.
wish I had a soundboard so I could hit it right now. The South Park meme:
Which one?
put a chick in it and make her lame and gay.
Dear God,
Bruh.
I got my
And that's basically all they're
soundboard.
doing.
This is what the new new Lucasfilms is doing to me right now.
Emotional damage.
Like,
Yeah, I'm good. I still got my original trilogy and my prequel trilogy. I still watch those. I
you you
I literally have every Star Wars movie. The only one I do not have is The Rise of Skywalker. I have an original copy of The Last Jedi sitting on my shelf now, completely sealed. I have never watched that movie since I left the theater.
you lucky man.
And I will say this: Han Solo movie was not that bad.
No, it's all right. It has issues, but it's like nothing glaringly bad.
That's pretty much been the only two, Rogue One and Han Solo. I'm like, if you really look at it, those are probably the best two movies that's come out of this whole new thing. And I guess Andor, people seem to like Andor, even though I watched the first episode all day. Man, this is really boring.
From what I saw, people enjoyed it. I'm not gonna go much.
And yes, I did. I was a Mandalorian.
I enjoyed the first two seasons. I really did. But then they screwed up the Book of the Boba Fett. Book of Boba Fett, not you know what I meant. And
hmm And then
that
we had Ahsoka.
that started off okay, then it just fell off. So these
And
people
then
don't know
probably
how to write.
and probably the one series that did the most damage to the Star Wars legacy is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you over like my scream of agony there of you
I
mentioning
said,
that show.
I'm like that. Like, do y'all not know the timeline that y'all are dealing with? Like, him and Vader are not supposed to have met for almost 20 years
Yep. And they
when
screw
the
that up.
series started. And you
They-
have him and Vader lightsaber fight twice, which completely makes no sense in the episode 4 when he basically says, when I left you, I was but a learner. Now I am the master."
Yep. It's
It's
like,
like, do y'all have nobody there that knows continuity?
guess not.
Ah, see how this localizer thing don't got us into a whole nother tangent about Marvel and DC and not DC, man. 'Cause DC is a whole nother mess. I was telling him, my dad was asking me, was I going to see Aquaman? I was like, no.
Save you money.
He
From what
like, you're not gonna go. I thought you liked the superhero movie. I'm like, no, I'm not interested.
From what our buddy saw, he saw it. The second half, you could tell was the complete reshoot. It's kind of bad when you can tell the last bit.
Okay, okay, they're trying to get rid of what's her name, Amber Heard. 'Cause I
They
think
didn't.
she was
They
supposed to have a bigger role in that movie than what she has.
pretty much, but I think they reduced it.
And I was pretty much done with the DCU when they got rid of Henry Cavill.
Yep. But now, hey, I know this is gonna be silly, but I've been like diving into the Warhammer stuff a lot more now because I've had a general like for the series, but never like dove into like the complicated miniature stuff. I used to watch people play it, but I love the lore. The I'll have to get you into that, the lore stuff to like give you some of the lore videos to watch because like there's books to read, but I don't know if you want to sit there and like read a whole book like that. The lore videos do a pretty good job
Yeah.
explaining stuff, but I love the orcs. The orcs are hilarious. They're the way they reproduce is just fungus, basically. The spores they release and they just become the orcs. But here's the funny thing about them: the more they fight, the stronger and smarter they get. They're usually pretty dumb. But here's the crazy thing about them: the way their like whole like big like power shtick is they can like let's say they slap some 2x4s together around a lead pipe and fasten like a stupid looking trigger and then start shooting off plasma rounds. The power of belief. Like that's how they work. Like all they have to do is believe and it works. Somebody else picks up that makeshift crappy weapon, it won't fire. What's even hilarious, like there's different clans. There's one that like builds cars and everything. If they paint it red, that means it goes faster. And it happens. There's another one. They paint it blue, and they just become luckier. Like one of the biggest like heroes in the orcs, like his head got chopped off his original body. So they're like, we're gonna just put your head on this like mech body, and then it just works. I'm like, the orcs are Bethesda developers. Oh my god, it just works. As long as they believe.
I actually am interested to get into 40K.
Henry
It's
Cavill was
like,
behind all of their big projects. He's like an executive producer and starring in it. So
mm,
I
but it's just so dumb. I'm like, have you looked at this man? There's not another man on this planet, I think, that looks more like Superman than him.
as far as like new age actors go, no, he's is doing an excellent job.
And that's why I said I really hate the fact that he didn't get a chance to have another solo Superman movie to at least try to say, okay, can he do it? Can he carry his own movie? Because
He did.
Man
He
of
was
Steel,
Man of
because
Steel.
yeah, Man of Steel, it was 50-50. People kind of split on. That's why they kind of introduced Batman into it, the sequel, which was not supposed to be a Batman movie. Like, you need Superman to lead your DC universe. Like, he's got to be the first one out the door to basically head up everything. And the stuff that James Gunn showed, I'm like, Creature Commandos? Okay. I know who they are. The Authority? Like, how many people know about the Authority?
Not many.
And then you finally get to Superman. I'm like, Superman Legacy should be the one that kicks off, ignites your whole DC universe. Instead,
Yeah.
he's like the third up in there. And then you got a Batman who's already old because he's already on his fourth Robin, his son Damian,
Fourth
which
son. That was his first son.
you got Dick, Todd, uh, Tim, and then Damian. They pretty much he's the fourth Robin.
Well, I mean, well, you're not wrong. Never mind. Ignore. I was like, wait, what? Like that's right.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I know what I've said it for a long time now. They need to do a live action Batman Beyond movie and try something different and not just let's just swap it to another Bruce Wayne. I think right now is the best time to do a Batman Beyond movie.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton is the perfect age to play old Bruce Wayne
You're not wrong.
because he's already done it in the Flash. Which actually, me and my wife actually sat down and watched that since we had HBO Max and it was on there. Yeah, it wasn't as bad as people made it out to be. It wasn't good, and it's really silly how things happen in. But would I watch it again? I probably skip to something like the end part because I do like the way they do the Speed Force, even though they change like because the Flashpoint story.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, they change a lot about it because there's no Reverse Flash. Like he his past self becomes his antagonist in the movie because you could basically they run into Man of Steel where Supergirl is trying to defeat Zod and she can't, and they keep going back and resetting time trying to change things, and like his past self is just keep going back, keep going back, keep going back, and the more he does it, the more it rips and damages time itself and other universes.
Hey, pretty much. It's
Which
stupid.
was interesting because my wife, she cheered when Christopher Reeve Superman popped because that's the Superman she remembers.
You mean Batman?
Christopher Reeves, That's the
that's
one
right.
she
I'm
remembers.
getting ahead of myself. What the hell's wrong with me?
Because she remembers like like the 80s and the 80s Supergirl. I think it was the 80s or 70s Supergirl movie. Because it was her and Christopher Reeves. They had a scene together. Yeah, she got to see Nicolas Cage in Superman Lives again.
Huh.
He has a cameo in it where he's Superman Live. He has the long hair. He's fighting like a spider on another planet.
So he did get the role, just not in the capacity that he wanted. At least he got to play his favorite superhero.
Yeah. It has a good cameos towards the end, but overall it's
Sounds like the only good thing about it is some of the cameos.
yeah, especially the spoilers for people who might not have seen it. The George Clooney Batman cameo at the end.
All right.
Wait,
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
but no, that was just the funniest thing. But they use their one F word on that one when George Clooney Batman shows up, or Bruce Wayne
Huh.
shows up.
I still won't watch it. All right, folks. That's going to be it for us tonight.
Yeah, I know we sped off into a little bit of a tangent.
That happens sometimes, but hope your new year of 2024 is amazing.
Yeah, and definitely look forward to doing a lot more episodes and y'all guys joining us for a lot more episodes because definitely going to be a busy year this year.
Oh, definitely. All right, folks. Peace out. Be safe.